Good evening, Dan Fitzpatrick here at stockmarketmentor.com on Thursday, August 15th. And got to look at Apple here today. And this is why. You know what happened to the S&P and all the other indexes. Big pullback. I'm not going to go through them because I want to focus on Apple. But the market was generally really weak. And Apple was essentially flat. I mean, it really just kind of traded flat all day. So this is a sign of strength. Okay, this is a real sign of strength. If you look at the volume, trading volume was actually pretty high relative to all these other bars, but not relative to the last few days. Okay, so it took a lot of buying pressure to push Apple up this high. So this has some very, very strong upside momentum, and I think it's going to continue going higher. But there's a way to really trade this. First of all, you're not going to be able to catch it all at one time. The stock's already gone up quite a bit. If the market starts to fall even further, not saying that it will, that's for another time, but if the market starts to fall further, Apple could be one of those stocks that funds sell because they can, because there's an underlying bid for it. So they sell a stock like this as opposed to some of these stocks that are absolutely just imploding and they really can't get out of them without driving the stock down any further. So I want you to watch for some weakness in Apple, and if we get it, it's definitely a stock that you want to buy. From a trading standpoint, you know, you can just look at the zigzags here. After this steep a move, you know, we're kind of overdue for a little bit of a pullback there in English. But I want to look at the 5-minute chart. Check out how this stock has been trading at the open. It's like it doesn't matter whether it opens up or down. Stock gaps up, trades up, buyers come in. Okay, stock gaps up, then falls back. Buyers ultimately come in. Here, stock sells off during the end of the day, gaps up in the morning, meanders around a little bit, and then is bought during the day. Okay, today, stock gapped down. What happened? Ultimately, the stock traded higher. A little down on the day, but the point is, it's like it doesn't even matter whether the stock gaps up or down. Folks are coming in, funds are coming in to buy this stock. So it is a stock that's in demand. If you're short Apple, I can't help you there. Hope you make money on it. I hope Apple pulls back, say to 480, maybe even 470. Testing the 200-day moving average would be nice. However, I don't expect that to happen. And do you know why? Because this is the pullback that everybody's waiting for. So it's just probably not going to happen. So if you really like Apple and you don't own any, I guess you could take some at this level. But my question would be, why do you want to take it when it's so extended, when the recent high is 504.25, just barely above this current level? What are you really getting by buying now as opposed to waiting for a breakout? You're getting in a little bit early, but how far do you think this breakout is going to move before Apple ultimately pulls back? So when you're really looking at buying right now, yes, we can look at the risk to the downside. That's the obvious risk that everybody looks at, but we can look at it a different way and say, what is the risk if we don't buy at this level? What's the risk of missing out on some big, huge monster move? My bet is not that much. And we can even mitigate that risk very easily. Just set a buy limit. If this, just say, okay, if Apple starts trading up to 505, then I'm going to be mad that I didn't buy it here when it was below this, when it was below 500. But if it trades up to 505, that's a percent that I'm giving up. I'm chasing, but at least I know the stock's moving northward. So anyway, that would be my suggestion on Apple. Hope for a little bit of a pullback. If so, you want to buy. If the stock does start to break out, that's fine. You can go ahead and chase it. Just remember that you and everybody else are doing that too. So I just want you to be careful with this stock. Look at the weekly chart. it just looks like the turnaround is almost like just starting, right? You look at it on the daily chart. This actually looks pretty nice here. Uptrending MACD, moving average convergence, divergence. Members, I'll be having a tutorial on that over the weekend. But if you look at it in this light, it definitely looks overbought. So beauty's in the eye of the beholder. It totally depends on your time frame. Absolutely depends on your time frame. What I don't want you to do is go in too big because you get all lathered up and enthusiastic and think Apple's going to keep running. Then when it pulls down to 495 or even 490, you get shaken out of the stock. This is a stock that's going to ebb and flow. Give it room to do just that. You pick your positions, you pick your price levels very carefully, pick many of them, and buy in slowly. Okay, members, over to the strategy session.